It's 2 a.m. You're lying in bed, eyes closed, almost asleep. And then, out of nowhere, your brain decides to replay that moment from 7 years ago, the one where you waved back at someone in a parking lot and realized they weren't waving at you. They were waving at the person behind you. You just waved at a stranger for no reason, in front of everyone. And now, at 2 in the morning, you're reliving it in full HD. The cringe, the heat in your face, the moment you tried to play it cool and failed completely. But here's what's strange. That moment was years ago. Nobody else remembers it. It probably lasted 3 seconds. So why does your brain keep bringing it back over and over again? Now, most people assume something must be wrong with them, like their brain is broken, or they're just more awkward than everyone else. But that's not what's happening at all. Your brain isn't trying to torture you. It's actually trying to protect you. And once you understand why, these moments lose a lot of their power. Think about the kinds of moments that come back most often. Maybe you said something in a group conversation that landed completely wrong. Everyone went quiet for just a second too long, and you smiled through it. But inside, you were already replaying it. Or maybe you mispronounced a word in a meeting, a simple word you've said 100 times. But not that day. That day, your mouth just gave up on you. Or you called your teacher mom in front of the whole class in 4th grade. And somehow, your brain has stored that memory with the same care it gives to your ATM pin. These moments feel small, but your brain treats them like they matter. And here's why. Humans are social creatures, and for most of our history, being accepted by the group wasn't just nice to have, it was survival. If you were rejected or cast out, your chances of making it dropped fast. So your brain evolved to be extremely sensitive to anything that might threaten your place in the group. Embarrassment is one of those signals. When something embarrassing happens, your brain registers it almost like a warning. It files the memory away and says, "Remember this, don't do that again." The replay isn't random, it's your brain reviewing the footage, trying to figure out what went wrong so it can help you avoid it next time. It's the same reason your brain reacts to physical pain. Pain says, "Don't touch the hot stove again." Embarrassment says, "Don't make that social mistake again." The memory keeps coming back because your brain hasn't finished processing it. It's still running the lesson. But here's where it gets even more interesting, because there's another reason your brain keeps replaying these moments. And it has nothing to do with what actually happened. Psychologists have a name for something called the spotlight effect. It's the feeling that everyone around you noticed your mistake, that they're thinking about it, that they'll remember it, that when they see you again, they'll think of that one weird thing you said at that party 3 years ago. But research shows something very different. Most people don't remember your embarrassing moments. Not because they're being kind, but because they're genuinely too busy thinking about their own. The moment you've been replaying for years? The other person probably forgot it the same day, maybe even the same hour. You've been the only one in the theater watching the same film on a loop, while everyone else has moved on to a different movie entirely. We dramatically overestimate how much other people notice us and remember us. The spotlight feels blinding when you're standing in it. But from the outside, most people aren't even looking. So why does the memory feel so vivid? Why does it seem to get more intense the more you think about it? Your brain doesn't store memories like a camera. It stores them more like a story, and it edits that story. Every time you revisit it, when a memory has strong emotion attached to it, your brain pays extra attention. It marks it as important. And each time you replay it, you unconsciously add details. The expressions on people's faces become more dramatic. The silence feels longer. Your response sounds worse. You're not remembering the moment anymore. You're remembering your memory of the moment. And each version is slightly more exaggerated than the last. The more emotional weight a memory carries, the more your brain inflates it over time. which is why a 3-second awkward pause from 2017 can feel, by 2024, like a full-on social catastrophe. This is where the cycle becomes self-reinforcing. Your brain surfaces the embarrassing memory. You feel discomfort, maybe a flash of heat, a tightening in your chest. You try to analyze what happened. Why did you say that? What were you thinking? Could you have handled it differently? And then, because you spent so much time and emotion on it, your brain concludes, this must be important, so it stores it even deeper. And the next time it surfaces, it feels even more significant. You think about it more. It goes deeper still. The loop tightens. The harder you try to push the memory away, the more you're actually reinforcing it. Your brain interprets the resistance as confirmation that this memory deserves attention. Here's something that might actually help. This happens to everyone, not just you. Not just people who are shy or anxious or socially awkward. Confident people replay embarrassing moments. Successful people replay embarrassing moments. The person who seems completely unbothered in social situations. They have a highlight reel of cringeworthy memories playing in their head too. They just don't always show it. Your brain isn't reminding you of these moments because you're awkward or broken. It's reminding you because it wants you to belong. That's a deeply human thing. That's connection, not dysfunction. The fact that you care, that you replay these moments, that you want to do better, is actually a sign that you're paying attention, that you value other people, that you take social connection seriously. So what can you actually do with all of this? The first thing is to notice the thought without fighting it. When the memory surfaces, when your brain cues up that old footage, try not to immediately push it away or spiral into analysis. Just notice it. Let it pass through without turning it into a bigger production. The second thing is to remind yourself of scale. Whatever happened, whatever moment your brain is replaying, the odds are very high that it mattered far less to everyone else than it did to you. The other people in that memory have moved on. The world kept turning. You survived it. And the third thing, maybe the most useful, is to remember that everyone around you has their own embarrassing memories on loop. The person sitting across from you right now is probably thinking about something awkward they did last Tuesday. We are all just quietly replaying our own footage. Embarrassing memories are a feature of being human, not a flaw in your wiring. They exist because social connection matters deeply to us. Because we care about how we show up for others. Because somewhere in the ancient part of our brain, belonging still feels like survival. The replay is uncomfortable. But it's also evidence of something worth holding on to, that you're wired for connection, that other people matter to you, that you're paying attention. The moments your brain keeps replaying are often the moments no one else remembers. Your mind is just trying to protect you in a world where, for a very long time, belonging meant survival. Your brain learned to take social mistakes seriously, to review them, to hold on to them, just in case. It doesn't always get the balance right. It holds on too long sometimes. It makes things bigger than they were. It forgets to check in with the rest of the world and ask, does anyone else even remember this? But underneath all of that, it's just trying to keep you connected, to the people around you, to the world you're part of. And that's not something to be embarrassed about at all.